Hello bookworms, I'm Becca and welcome to the very first day of the 12 days of Bookmas. I'm so excited! Today's video is going to be a book haul. It is my last book haul of the year, most likely. So I have a stack of books that I've acquired over the past couple months because I haven't really been making many videos and things like that. So I have about 5 middle grade books to show you guys. And I have a ton of young adult books to show you, so let's get into it. The first book I have to show you guys is Kitty Wampus by Ash Van Outerloo. This book was recommended to me by Alex over at Pucks and Paperbacks. He is always recommending me the best books and I cannot wait to pick this one up. The only thing I know about this one is that it is, of course, a middle grade fantasy and it follows rival witches Delpha and Katie Bird. And they both want to get their hands on this spell book. So it has witches, there's an all-girls school, I believe. Anything that has to do with magic and witches is right up my alley. Bonus points for middle grade. I just cannot wait to dive right in. The next book, oh my gosh, I forgot that I bought this one recently and I'm just like freaking out. It is The Mighty Heart of Sunny St. James by Ashley Herring Blake. If you guys know anything about me at all, you know that Ivy Aberdeen's Letter to the World is one of my favorite books of all time. I cannot say enough good things about this book. And this is another middle grade by the same author. This story follows a girl named Sunny St. James who has recently received a new heart and sets out on a new life plan, which includes kissing a boy. But when she meets Quinn, a girl with serious best friend potential, Sunny starts questioning whether or not she really wants to kiss a boy at all. So this sounds like it's going to be a very tender story. If it's anything like Ivy Aberdeen, it's going to have me sobbing. I cannot wait to read it and share my thoughts and feelings and emotions with all of you. The next book I want to share with all of you is called Closer to Nowhere and it's by Ellen Hopkins. You might recognize that name. Ellen Hopkins writes a lot of young adult books that are very gritty and hard-hitting. She writes them in verse and this book is no different. And in this book we follow cousins Hannah and Cal. Cal has been staying with Hannah's family after the loss of his mother and Hannah is kind of fed up with Cal's behavior. But what she doesn't know is how much Cal is really struggling inside. He's struggling with anger and frequent outbursts and all of these feelings that he just cannot control and he just misses his mom. So I feel like this is going to be a very emotional story for me and I just feel like it's going to be a very poignant story. So even though it will be difficult, I feel like I will enjoy this book a lot. And I also I'm sure that I will share my thoughts and feelings on it with all of you. The next book I have to show you guys is Paula Santiago and the River of Tears by Taylor K. Mejia. And the only thing I know about this is a retelling of the La Llorona folklore from Mexico. My husband Josh is from Texas and he knows all about this folklore with La Llorona and it is something that fascinates me. So this is another recommendation from Alex over at Pucks and Paperbacks. He told me about this and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to get the story because I love this urban legend so much. And my very last middle grade I have to share with you today is Manana Land by Pam Munoz Ryan. So this is a little middle grade about a boy named Maximiliano Cordoba who loves stories, especially the ones that his abuelo tells him about a magical gatekeeper that can lead people into tomorrow. And Max just daydreams about all of these things that he could do if he could see into tomorrow, including learning more about his mom who passed away when he was a baby. He longs to know more about her, but his dad refuses to talk about her. So when Max uncovers a family secret, he sets off on a journey with only his compass to find Manana Land. And I just think that this is going to be such an amazing book. I cannot wait to pick it up. Okay, now I have 7 young adult books that I am so happy to be able to share with you. Starting with I'll Be the One by Lila Lee. This book follows a girl named Sky who wants nothing more than to be the next K-pop star, but she doesn't think that she will ever be given the opportunity because she doesn't look like the typical K-pop stars. So she is beyond surprised to find herself swept up in an internationally televised competition looking for the next K-pop star. And along the way, she makes a lot of really cool friends, and it seems like it's just going to be a nice, fluffy book about a girl chasing her dreams and maybe falling in love, and you know what? I am here for that. Next, I have By the Book by Amanda Sellett. This is about a girl named Mary Porter Malcolm who loves classic novels. She is a bona fide self-proclaimed bookworm, and when she finds herself falling for a boy that everyone is telling her to stay away from, Mary soon finds that her life might not always follow the rules of fiction, and if she wants a happy ending, she's going to have to write it herself. I'm in love with this cover. The cover and the title are what drew me to the book, and even though I'm not a big classics reader, I feel like I still will be able to appreciate Mary for being the book lover that she is, and I'm excited for this. Next, I have a book that is missing its dust jacket because I'm currently attempting to read it, but it's not going well. Because I'm lazy, not because the book is bad. The book is very good. It is Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. Everyone has been raving about this book for ages, and I just cannot get out of this reading slump to read it. I don't know that much about what it's about. I'm going to link Audrey's videos in the description because they are like the pro at Cemetery Boys, and they will be able to give you a way more info than I can. I just know that it's a young adult mystery about a trans boy named Yadriel who really wants to be a brujo, but he's from a very traditional family that doesn't recognize his gender, and so he decides to do the ritual himself with his cousin Maritza. Things kind of go haywire, and he ends up resurrecting the spirit of the school's resident bad boy, and then they have to figure out how he died. I'm about 30 pages in, so I'm not that far into it. Things are starting to heat up, and I'm excited for it. So yeah, go check out Audrey's videos, and they will be able to give you way more information than I could ever hope to give you. Next, I have Punching the Air by Ibiza Boy and Yusuf Salam. This is about a boy named Amal who is an artist and a poet, and he goes to a very diverse art school. Even there, he is still faced with a very biased system, and after a tragic night, he finds himself in jail for a crime that he didn't even commit, and he is being tested in ways that he never would have thought he would be tested in. So he turns to his art and his words to get him through this trying time. I feel like this is going to be an extremely powerful book to read, and I hate to say that I'm looking forward to it because I hate to be looking forward to a story like this, but I enjoy reading diverse books to get me out of that comfort zone and help me be exposed to stories other than my own. So in that way, I am looking forward to reading this book and seeing what it's all about. I love Ibiza Boy so much. Her writing is phenomenal, and so I know that this is going to be amazing. Next, I have Furia by Yamil Saeed Mendez. I don't think I said that right, but I did my very best. And this is about a girl named Camilla. It takes place in Argentina, and she is always living in the shadow of her soccer playing older brother, where at home she has to be a caretaker and live within these narrow expectations. But Camilla has dreams of playing football, but Camilla's parents don't support her dream and would never allow their daughter to play. So when Camilla's team that she plays for qualifies for a championship game, Camilla has to figure out how to make these dreams a reality. I just cannot wait to read this book. It sounds like it's gonna be super cool. Next, I have Miss Meteor by Taylor K. Mahia and Anna Marie McLemore. This is a young adult contemporary about two ex-best friends who couldn't be more different than the typical pageant winners in their small town, but they decide to enter the beauty pageant this year for very different reasons. I don't know much more than that. The cover is incredible. I love the cover so much. and the back has cactuses on it. I just think that this is going to be a really fun book, and I do know that it has some LGBT representation in it, so we love to see that. I'm excited. I've been looking at this book on my shelf for ages, and I need to just pick it up already. My camera stopped recording, but I do have one more book to show you guys today, and it is Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. This is a young adult book about a girl named Enchanted who had aspiring dreams of becoming a singer, so when she was picked up by R&B legend Corey Fields at an audition, she thought that her life was looking up. However, her life started turning into a nightmare, and when Enchanted wakes up with blood on her hands and Corey is dead, she has more questions than answers. I love Tiffany D. Jackson's books so much. One of my favorite books by her is Monday's Not Coming. It is so good, you guys. If you have not read one of Tiffany D. Jackson's books before, you are sleeping and you need to pick them up. So I cannot wait to read this one. It sounds like it's going to be incredible. I'm excited. So there you guys go. Those are all the books that I have gotten recently. Thank you so much for tuning in for day 1 of Bookmas. I cannot wait to see how the rest of the 11 days play out, and I hope that I keep up on it because I have had a lot of technical difficulties lately. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below to see more bookish videos. That's all I got for you guys today, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!